Hi, and welcome to Design It with Tammie Gibbs. I'm Tammie, and today I am going to be working on part two of my series that I have been doing, showing you what each of the tiers inside Artistly actually are created to do and what you can do with them. So let's jump in. So we're using Artistly 6. We click on Create Design. And if you haven't seen part one and part 1A, then be sure and check out those videos too. We're going to be going inside the Fast AI Image Designer here. And the part 1 and part 1A are on the AI Image Designer version 6, this first tier or first button here. And I've already done those videos, so be sure and go back and check those out. We're going to be working inside the AI design agents today. So the first one we're going to be taking a look at is the clip art one. So we're going to I'm going to go in and grab one of my personal designs just to help make this go a little faster. If you've been watching my videos any length of time, you know that I have an entire Playbook series. Currently, there's 10 different volumes in that series. Be sure and check them out. The links are in the description, and we'll be talking more about those. So I'm going to just go in and grab, let's see. Let's not do the bears today. Let's go in and find something else. Let's see. Pop in this one and see what we can see. Okay, so do we want to do that? We've got some cute little. Let's go with this. Let's go with this. Let's see if I can grab. We're getting close to Thanksgiving. This is a pretty image. So let's go in and let's see what we can do. Okay, so we're going to go back into the second tier, the AI design agents, go into clip art. So the purpose of the clip art category, feature, whatever you want to call it, is to simplify that process of making clip art. Now, what I just did is not necessarily a clip art piece. So we're going to simplify it a little bit. We're going to do it first as it is, because just because it says clip art doesn't mean you can't do other things, and then we'll do something super simple as well. So within this, you have the option to do up to 10 images at a time. Now, there's some caveats to that. So we're going to start to see so we don't use up 10 good images in our daily allowance, or whatever you want to call it, your fair use or whatever. In order not to eat them up, we're going to test it first. Now, with this one, it's a little bit different than the others, because unless you do specific prompts inside here, like all at one time, to do multiples, and give it more direction, then it is going to take your one prompt and then it's going to give you what it wants to give you automatically. So let me just show you. Okay, so we're going to pop our prompt in, and I'm going to go down and select the same aspect ratio. We're going to do one image and see how it interprets this, okay? Which is probably not going to be exactly the way that image looked before, mainly because it's going to interpret it differently. Now, it actually did a pretty decent job. With God, all things are possible, so that's cute. It's a cute image. It's the watercolors is very pretty. So let me show you in its raw form what this can do. Now, if you notice, here's the prompt. It's giving us the prompt, okay? But it interprets it the way it wants to. So if it wants to move something around or do whatever, then it will. But this is cute. This is a cute image. We're going to go back in. What you're going to notice, though, is there is no regenerate tab up here. So you cannot regenerate. You have to go back into the button, and you have to paste it again. So just keep that in mind. This is just one of the little quirks about it. Okay, so we're going to go back down here. This time I'm going to, I didn't select the correct aspect ratio from the original one. So we're going to go back in and we're going to actually choose, I'm just going to do 3 images, okay? I'm going to let it do its thing on those 3 images and see what it comes up with. And we're just going to do this. I tend not to use this one a lot because it does tend to vary things a little bit more than I want to. But if you're in a big hurry and you've got your prompts down, then it's these are some pretty images. I mean, no doubt about it. It treated them very well. You've got some really cool images that you've done. Here are our 3 that we did. Okay, but let's look, and you can see when we look at the prompt that it did change that prompt up. A vertical bookmark illustration, blah, 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 blah. So it interprets your prompt and then it does it the way it wants to. So all of these are not really your prompt. These are interpretations of your first prompt, okay? So the first prompt is the closest to what you gave it, but it's still not your prompt. It's taking cues from your prompt. So that's one reason that I don't tend to use this as much, is because I do want more control in it, and I want the art that I put out to be the words I put together and the direction I give the AI. Sorry about that. It's really, really, really early in the morning when I'm doing this, so I'm trying to get a couple videos in, do some video recording. Thanksgiving's coming up soon, next week, and so I'm just trying to get everything ready. And so it is a little early, so if you hear me yawning, that's why. But anyway, my house is quiet right now. The dogs are asleep. So. But okay, so that's what this does. Now, let's just do something really simple. I'm going to go over here and select another one, maybe some animals or something. So let's go and see if we can find that real quick. Those are some more complicated images. Let's just do this one. Oops, that one's not one I can grab a prompt from. Let's see here. These are some really old images. A lot of test images. Let's try this one. This is a simple one. Okay. But it's a good example of clip art, just in the clip art form. This is really good a lot of times if you need like individual florals and stuff, then you can use this if you're trying to get elements, floral elements that you want to tie together or whatever. Okay, so I'm just going to leave this at this aspect ratio. We're going to select 4 images. And, we could go all the way up to 10, but it's going to give us like a pack of clip art. It's designed to vary the styles, to give you different elements, so that if you're doing a pack, you get elements that can be used together. And those are super cute. So that's definitely something that you can use the clip art style. You could do up to 10 images, and 10 images would be a quick little pack. Now, what you can do, or what I don't, like I said, I don't use it a whole lot. Oops, I don't want to make that public. Oops. Okay, so if we go back in to this, and let's just say we want to do a couple of different prompts, we can say use these prompts, and then let's just say we want to use a couple of different prompts. I'm going to go in. I'm probably going to have to redo that, but personal designs. Let me open up a Canvas sheet so I can put them on there. Okay, here's the first one. And then let's go back over here. I'm just going to show you the different ones. And you get to see a lot of my test images. Let's do this one. And I'll paste that one in. And I've actually been looking for these images. Okay, and then let's do okay. Now, one thing you can do is when it gives you a prompt under the clip art, you can actually use that as a base prompt, put it into one of the other generators, and then you can use your playbooks to tweak it and make it your own. So that's just a little hint and tip. Okay, so we're going to take, we've got 3 now. Okay, so we're going to take these 3 and see what it does with them. So use these prompts as they are. Let's see if we can trick it into not. I've done it before, but I haven't done it in a while. So we have to separate them. And separate this one. And I'm going to give it a little extra and say prompt 1 1. And other people have their own way of doing this, so I'm sure they're going to chime in and tell me how they do it. This is just how I've done it. Whoops. And I got them off. Let's see. Prompt 2. Prompt 3. And prompt 1. Okay, so we're just going to see, we're going to do the 3 images and see if it gives us the 3 different prompts or if it scrambles it all up. And I haven't done this lately, so okay, something happened, something wrong here. Let's go back, try it again. Okay, so use these prompts as is. Sorry about that, I'm not sure exactly what happened. We're gonna paste them in. Prompt 1. And prompt 2. Prompt 3. Select. Okay, we got that. Let's select 3 images and it's just not going to do it. Interesting. Let's see. Let's do a test and see if they've overridden this now. It didn't like my giving it the different prompts, so this is going to be very scrambled. Okay, so it still gave us 2 of the 3. So it gave us the little girl and it gave us the wave, but we're missing one of the images. So let's try it again. Okay, so it basically did keep that prompt. Okay. So it didn't like me to identify those prompts though. Okay, so, oh, wrong one. So let's try it again and see if it'll give us the 3. Like I said, it's been a while since I've done it, but it did give us the 2 unique ones. I don't know what happened to the 3rd image. We do have 3 boxes processing. So let's see if it does the 3 this time and what they look like, if it keeps our images. Okay, we got the little girl. We got a cow. Did I have a cow? Maybe I did have a cow. Maybe that was the 3 images. Let me look and see. It still changed it up a little bit, but they are very similar to the images that I had asked it to do. But it's going to do its own thing, it looks like. Now, this one seems like closer to what I did. The cow one, not as much. So, cowgirl. Okay, so that's how the clip art works. You can play with getting the multiple images or whatever. So that one basically works the way it's intended to work, but it is going to change your prompts. So that's the tip on for that. Okay, so now let's go and select one of these. Yeah, one of them was a cow. I've lost it. Okay. So let's just try the cow because that's just a simple one. And this is create a coloring page. So we need to strip, if you're going to make a coloring page, strip any reference to color out of it, because if you don't, then like the natural earth tones, we want that out. And pretty little cow with a bow. Okay, so we're just going to try to turn our image into, I think it's really great that you can turn your prompts into coloring pages. And you can do that two different ways. You can do it through your prompting, or you can do it through your, okay, something just happened here. Let's see. Let's go back. Okay, so I've got to strip it out again. So we're looking for, let's remove the hand painted, and we need to remove the watercolor too. So you want, these are going to be bare bones prompts without any reference to color or like the watercolor style or anything like that. So this natural earthly tones, we want that removed because, you know, you and the watercolor. Now we can still do storybook illustration, but all of that has to be removed. Okay. So we're just going to keep this. We're going to do, you can do up to 10 at a time here. But remember, every time you do 10, that's 10 out of your numbers. So when you're doing these multiples, make sure that it's what you want before you generate your multiple images. Okay, so here we go. We have a cute little cow, and it does look pretty much like these. It's in the same mode as these, so that's pretty self-explanatory. You're going to be able to get some really cute little coloring images. Let's try another one. Let's try the little girl. Let's go over here and grab the little girl, and I'll show you how you can take and pare it down. Okay, in this, you cannot regenerate again. So this is another one of the ones that you cannot regenerate. I recommend that maybe you get a little notebook and you keep up with, okay, so inside the AI Design Agents coloring page, I'm only going to be able to do one image, and I'm not going to be able to regenerate that. I'm going to have to put my prompt in each time on that. And so that way you're keeping up with what each one allows you to do. But you can also put to the side of it that, hey, this actually you can do up to 10 images at one time. And I think that's one of the reasons it doesn't do the regeneration, is because like the clip art, you can do the 10 images at one time. But that is common inside these two. So both of these are that way. So let's do the coloring page again. Let's paste in this one. Now, watercolor illustration, that needs to be removed to use this. Now, when you're writing them for a coloring page, you're not going to put those elements in the first place. But with me, I like the way some of my images look, so I'd rather go back and strip it out. So there's no reference to color. Okay, soft color palettes here. We're going to want to remove that. Scandinavian nursery style. Okay, so that should be good. We're just going to do one because we're just basically testing it now. So, but if you're into coloring books and want to take some of your images and make them into coloring books, then that is really cute. Okay, so here's our little girl. good little coloring page. Okay. All right. Now, can you with this do more mature images? So let's just go and select something else that would be a little bit more complex. Let me find something that would be more adultsy. Okay, let's just do this deer. Okay. So this is a real simple one for a deer. Very bare bones. And it says realistic. So let's see how it's going to treat that. So going back into the coloring page. All right. Now I'm going to add a little something to this. We've got watercolor, so we're all going to remove that. Okay. So we're going to say an adult coloring page featuring a realistic wildlife woodland deer. Okay. And we're going to, because a lot of people are always talking about they want to do adult coloring books rather than for children. So we're just going to test this particular one. Now, if it doesn't work with this one, then, and I don't know, let's see. That one for some reason. Artistly is giving me a little bit of a issue this morning. I'm not sure why, so let me just strip it really quick. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. This is one that does not do for adults. This one is suitable for children only. So be specific about what you want in the coloring page. Okay, so we're just going to do it like this. We're not going to mention adult, and we're just going to see if it will override it or if it will simplify it. I forgot that this particular one says that about for children. But there are other options, and we're going to get there. But when I said that about adults, that triggered it. Okay, so it did. It reduced it down to a children's realistic wildlife look. Still cute, but that's my fault. There's a couple of different coloring options, and this one I forgot is the one that you can't ride and do. So this one is just suitable for little children's coloring pages. So we're going to pop back in and move on to the YouTube thumbnails. So this is an interesting thing. So I'm just gonna show you. I'm gonna take one of mine. Let me go in to my channel, and I'll just take one of my videos, and we'll take the one I did yesterday. Okay, so let me grab the share link, and I'll show you how that's supposed to work. So basically you paste in your URL. Now, the one thing that I have found that is confusing to me, and no disrespect to how this all works, is that if you already have a thumbnail to use the URL, the only time you would use this would be if it's not performing perhaps and you wanted to change it up to see if it'll perform better, because otherwise you already have it done. So you'd have to make a video in order for it to, work. So we're just going to test it out and see how it interprets and what it would do with this thumbnail. So basically, it's a redesign for your video thumbnail. So we're going to see how that works. And then there's another option under there as well. So we can do recreate thumbnail. And essentially you're doing the same thing. Videos to thumbnail. Um, if I think perhaps this one, if you have it uploaded somewhere like I guess stored somewhere online, maybe from a Dropbox, and you don't actually have the thumbnail, and then this one is the recreate one. So a little confused the difference between these. I've actually not used this feature that much, but that's the intent. I think this is if you have it stored like on a Dropbox, you can do the public image. I mean the public URL to that video, and it'll look at the video and it'll create it. So I was mistaken. And then this one is the recreate. But let's see what it did because that's not what I sent it. So let's pop back over here and see what it came up with. Okay, so really, I don't see where this even has anything to do with the one that I uploaded. So let me tell you how you can potentially use this one. Okay, so if you're not going to do that, I mean, this is what I could do. Okay, so if you don't want to use it the way it came up, okay, I kind of like the image, but I would not use it for the one that I came up with. So let's just do this. Let me show you what I would do or could do with this. Okay, so I'm going to go in, I'm going to upload that image into Canva. And I just find that Canva is, oops, I didn't download it. Let's do that. Nope. Okay, we got to go over here and download it. And again, it's in the middle of the night. So give me some grace. Okay, so go out of here. We're going to go and we're going to upload it to Canva. Okay, and I'm going to edit the image. Basically, just going to let it upload this way and then go into Create Design here. And then there's a couple of different ways I can work with this. I'm going to go into first see if I can use the magic grab and whether that'll work. So we're going to do the magic grab because I kind of like the image, but I don't know. I don't really like her. I mean, I don't like the wording. I don't like her wording. So I would go in and, it's really, oops, I don't want her. I don't want her. Deselect her. Okay, that's not going to work. Okay, so let's do this up here. Okay, we've got that done. Let's grab that and see if the grab's going to work. Okay, so this is going to allow me to remove that. I'm going to go back in. Okay, I could use it this way. Anything is possible. Okay, and then I could go back over this and use this. So this is cool. This gives you some really cool illustrations. I'm going to pop back in. And so now we have something I could use in a future. And you may actually use this, see me using this one because I can come up with, make this match a video that I already have. So this is kind of cool. So let's go back in. It will let us regenerate this. So we can actually regenerate. I'm going to do 4 images and see what it comes up with. Because, if you're wanting to make thumbnails and you just want it to give you some thoughts, because I'll be honest with you, sometimes the thumbnails, well, see, now those are really cool. I like the split image kind of thing and the woman kind of being excited. The stuff in the background, I'm not sure. Like this one is AI unlocked. Anything is possible. You know, that could work. It really could. So let's take another one of mine, a different one, and see what it would come up with. Let's do this one and see possibly what it might come up with. We're gonna just get the copy. Okay, and we're gonna go back in, regenerate. I'm gonna delete all of this and just post. I'm in the wrong one. Goodness. Okay, so I need to go back here into the right screen. And we're going to do the recreate this time. So now it's supposed to be, we're going to see if it recreates this. Uh-oh. Something happened. What did it tell me? Failed to generate content. The model is overloaded. Okay, so that seems to be an internal error. Let's try going back to the videos to thumbnail and seeing if that one works. And as you know, I work through the quirks. I work through the little delays and all the little stuff. I don't filter through and show you just perfection, because working with AI is not perfection. Let me remind you that one more time. Okay, so we've got little monsters, it looks like. So, we could delete this, or I could come up with something that would work with this. You can do multiple images. So that's how I use it. Even if it doesn't do exactly what I wanted to, I use it to get some ideas sometimes on how I can lay out certain things. I like this one. The others not as much probably, but this one right here I possibly would fit some of the videos that I might want to do. So that's a way you can take it in and erase the wording and change it out with your own wording. So we'll see. You'll have to watch to see if I come up with a video that one will work for. Okay, so I think that one's self-explanatory. Now let's try something different. I'm gonna and I've never tried it with this, but these are based on the actual URLs and everything, but let's see if we can potentially do something different with it. So let's just go back into personal designs. Let's just choose any of these, because now it says regenerate and it comes up with a prompt here. So now let's strip this out and we can still change our aspect ratio. So let's go back into our file here and go into little cowgirl. Now this is wild. I do wild things with my Artistly. We're going to test it and see. We're going to see if this, once you have one in there, if you can go back to that thumbnail and if you can actually create from that. So we're just going to do this aspect ratio. We're doing one image just to see what kind of quality, what kind of image it puts out, how it interprets the prompt, just to do a regular image and that's cute. She's a cute little girl. So there you go. And this is in YouTube thumbnails. Now let's try something totally different. Let's go into None of those aren't mine. But let's go into, let's do this one because this is one that is mine totally. And let's see what it would do with this. So we're just actually going to go back into this image now since this is sort of inside that framework. Like I said, think outside of the box, and that's what's so absolutely fantastic about Artistly is the many versatile ways that you can use the product. So we basically started with one of these, erased it out, and now we're inside. Oh, that is adorable. That is so cute. It's so much cuter. You're invited to our housewarming. That's great. That is better than the original design. And so that shows you that you can design inside the YouTube thumbnails. All you have to do is create one image in there and where it overrides and gets you into the actual designer aspect of that. And then let's regenerate and see if we get another really cute one. I think that's great. I can see lots of potential in that. So cute. And it even got the wording correct. So, how cute is that? And this particular one, when you regenerate, you actually can select up to 4 of them. We can do that. Now that we know that that is a design, that is a prompt that works for us, we could then feel comfortable making multiples for our pack of whatever we want to do. They are so adorable. How cute are those? All of those are so, so super cute. All right. Precious. Okay, so that works. So now you have another designer. Okay. So right now, within these, what I would consider like a standalone, something that you could really, the YouTube thumbnails is, and I actually skipped the t-shirt designs. Okay, this is a different t-shirt design. Okay, so we're going to back up and go to it. This one works a little different than the t-shirt designer under the tier 1. So this allows you to choose what type. Like this is a faith-based, one quantity, target audience. This would be Christian moms, we would say. So Christian moms. Okay. Now this is going to just create a design. Okay. So, and I'm going to leave it at this ratio just because that's fine. So it's going to do it. You don't have any input. There's no prompting in this. Okay. It's going to come up with a design for you. This is the AI doing all the work for you. I don't like those features, but hey, they are what they are. And a lot of people use them, but you have no control. It's just going to spit something out. So let's see what it gives us. This particular one is not going to allow you to change anything. So you're just going to set it up. This is for somebody that does not want to put any work into their prompting or anything. Now what can you do with this? If you kind of like this, but you want to change it up, let's say you kind of like the design or whatever. What you could do is you could copy this prompt that it gave you. I'm just showing you alternative things to do. You could actually take it into, let's just say, the YouTube thumbnail one. But we wouldn't go there, right? We would go back up here to our personal designs to get into or access that. And then we would go into one of these where it lets us regenerate. And then now we have our box that we can paste this into. Okay. So now what we could do is we can change it up. And, we're just going to go back to this ratio. like that. Okay. It says a strong yet gentle graphic featuring the phrase. And we're going to take that out. And we want Mama prays harder. And that's all okay. Minimal text beneath the text. Minimal line art illustration of a hand. We don't like that. And we don't like that part. So we just want to use this part. And then we're going to say, this says beneath the text, a minimal line. I'm going to say, yes, beneath the text, a minimal line art illustration. We don't want a minimal line art illustration. We want a, let's pop over to the Playbooks. And let me plug the computer up. Okay. So we want to go into the Playbooks. We're going to go into volume 2. We're going to use this soft illustration. Back in here. We're going to put this at the beginning. Soft watercolor and illustration. And then a floral cluster of, and we're going to go into the little Christmas ones. Let's see. Okay. And instead of deep navy blue, we're going to say deep forest green. Okay, we're just going to test it out and see. There we go. Okay, so it gave us a little, it misspelled praise though. So that would have to be changed. So I would say you could test this out under the perfect text maybe. So let's take it over there instead. That's in the first one. I was trying to see something inside this one, but let's go over to the perfect text and image and see. We're not going to enhance it. We're just going to do this and see what kind of look we get with that. That wasn't what I had in mind exactly. So you could take, if you like the saying that it comes up with or whatever. Otherwise, I probably just personally won't use that particular feature because it doesn't give us the control that we want. And I like the other t-shirt, the one in this one. This t-shirt design one that lets you play with the prompt and put your own prompt in. I like that one better than this one. So let's go back and see if not, we'll just revisit it in a minute. Okay, we're going to move on. Okay, so now I'm not going to be working with the consistent characters today because, the consistent character storybook and the multi-character storybook. All of these storybook ones are under the AI design agents. I'm not going to work on those today. I'll do a whole video just on the storybook features, but we're going to skip over that. Okay, so personalized storybooks. Let's go to the pet portraits. Okay, so this is where you can, add details about the pet, like the pet's wearing certain things or whatever. So this again is going to be something based on an actual image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop into Pixabay and just find like a dog, somebody's dog. Dog, pet. Okay. So we're just looking for a pet that we can, let's do him. This is actually Pexels, but that's okay. Okay, so we're going to go pop back in. We're going to grab our dog. Okay, and we're going to make him a pirate. Him a pirate. Oh, and ours did come up, and that is a cuter image to me. So you could work with this. That's in the perfect text in image. So I just don't see the many steps. You could just have said Mama prays harder and created it in the first place. And he is super cute. So this is definitely something that you could definitely use to make money with. You know, people like to have their pets put in cute little situations, and that's a fairly quick way to do it after some testing to see how it does it. But put your pet in that. So that's that one. And there are a few different ones inside Artistly, but that is the pet portraits, and that's how simple that works. Okay. Now, could you do something else with it? Well, let's look and let's see if there's another angle to go at this. Let's see if it allows you to recreate it. It does not. So there is no way to adapt this. Could you do something besides an animal? That would be my next. Okay, can we do it that way? So let's go back in. Let's go to pet portraits and let's just see. Let's browse for. Let me see if I have a person. Let's just do a person off of pixels. Let's see, a woman. Let's just pick out a woman. And I would think you'd need to have the right image, because if not, they're going to have their eyes closed and everything. So let's just find the right one that would maybe work. And how much you'd want to use this, I don't know. There are other features for this, but like I said, I'm just trying to show you versatility of what you could do. Don't see any of those that line up just right. I just kind of want a casual image of someone looking straight onto the camera. I'll tell you what, let's do a little girl. Let's do that. Let's do maybe a child. Okay, so some of these might work. Let's do this one. Okay. So it's not a pet, but let's just see what it'll do with that. Pirate. I'm always looking for those hidden angles for you guys. So let's just see. Let's push it to the limits again and see if this is a way that you can use that feature. Maybe it won't turn the little girl into a dog. Okay, we're going to go ahead and look at the next feature. Okay, so that's the pet portraits. Now, book cover. Okay, again, this is one of those where you have very little control. So I'm just going to put this in, and I'll probably revisit this when I work on the storybooks. Okay, I'm going to do a whole video on all of that. Okay, so let's just do. Okay, learning. Let's do this. Let's do. Okay, so this is actually one of my real books, Recipes for Romance. Cookbook. Right. Tearful imagery. A romantic couple, hearts, romance. Red elements. Now this is going to do prompts. It says it's going to develop prompts based on my input. And while it's doing that, I'm going to open another window so we can look and see if our pirate girl happened or not. Nope. It turned her into a puppy dog. So that is not going to allow us to override at all. Interesting, though, that it would create a pet. So it is geared to a pet. So that experiment did not work. This is only going to be pets. So good to know. Okay, so it gave us a very long prompt, not just one. Okay. High quality. Aspect ratio would have to change. And we're going to generate a book cover. Again, this is something I more than likely would not use because I like to take the elements and build them out myself. But you never know. So basically, and it's kind of cute. We've got a kitchen scene. Arms seem to be in the right place. This is not, okay, it's going to give me an option to regenerate. So let's just say if I change this to not photorealistic. So if I go a watercolor style and see what it does. Just out of curiosity's sake. And now that we have a prompt that allows us to recreate it, then I may be able to get it to do what I want it to do. So see, this is more along the lines of what I would want. So this is how I would go in and change it. So it's got the basis. And I could change it. The scene is a cozy sun drenched. Okay, the scene is a couple in an embrace inside or partially inside a large heart. This should be a black and white sketch image with the heart shape being a pretty red pop of color, and eliminate this aroma as a color. Actually, I'm going to go in and try to change it from this. Okay, change this to a black and white sketch of the man and woman in an embrace. The red color. Remove reference to cooking in the prompt. Let's just let it rewrite it and see. That's a quicker way of doing it. And a way you can still put in your own elements, but just for the sake of this, just to see what we can get. If we can get kind of more of a sketch look. And I think it's stuck on 98. There we go. It did it. Okay. So generate the image and let's see what it comes up with. Now that's cute. And it's more along the lines of what I would create. Now, I could erase this. I could change the fonts inside Canva or inside the um, advanced generate the advanced inside Artistly. But anyway, so this is kind of how you can work with that. The workarounds to get a little bit more control that you could do. I could even go in and tweak this a little bit more using, some more elements uh, that from my playbooks and all. So this is actually something that could work for you. But I would encourage you to try to put more of your personal style inside that to get what you want. So it did pretty good. Okay, so let's go back in, see what's next. So we've got boot. Okay, so here is another seamless pattern. There are literally 3 different seamless pattern versions. So we're going to choose watercolor here because that's the only choice we really have. One design, and there's no help here. There's no, anything like that. So I'm just going to put an example of a Valentine's theme with cute little dogs of various breeds and sizes. Inside red hearts and generate the design. Now, again, I have never known this to be actually seamless, but that's cute. So we're actually going to test this and see if it actually is seamless. So let's go grab one of those seamless pattern checker. And I think this is the one I usually use. Upload the image. Oops. I apparently did not download it. That's a cute pattern. Okay. So this one is not seamless, but you could use it for something you didn't need seamless for. So back to the design agents. I have no idea. This soulmate sketch, I really do not know what this is. So I'm not much into astrology and all that kind of stuff. So this is, I guess, where you can get where it tells you, and I'm not going to do this just because that's my personal thing. This is all about your zodiac signs and stuff like that. So I'm going to skip over that if y'all will just give me grace on that because that's not my thing. Now, wall art sketch, this is an example. It just says style picker, oil painting, how many designs. You can go up to 10 and the dimensions. And so I'm going to pop in to this and no, let's go into That's a profitable playbook. I'm trying to find, there it is. Okay, let's go into an oil painting. This is volume 1. And let's see if I can just grab a sample prompt. Okay, so here's just a sample prompt and see what it does with it, just to save time. Go in here. So it doesn't give you watercolor at all. It just gives you a couple of that is a pretty image. The quality is really good. So it says wall art sketch, but is it possible we could use some of our other images? We're over here. Okay, so let's go into my personal designs. Let's choose let's choose this little girl and see what kind of image we get with her. How it's going to treat these other prompts. And if it will override and actually do a watercolor. Let's see what we get if we get a mixture between an oil painting and watercolor, or what it actually does. So let's go back in. It does let us regenerate. And you know what it's doing. It's actually design agents. Let's go back into the wall art sketch. Let's go back into the oil painting one. Let's do this. Let's change the aspect ratio to reflect what we want to get. So let's just see how it treats it. She is precious, and it did do watercolor. I love her. I love her. And actually, this actually defaults back to the AI Illustrator and it says wall art sketch, which there's not a setting for wall art sketch over there. There is a wall art style, but not the wall art sketch. So I'm going to go in here and compare. Since that you choose which kind, and this one doesn't have that, let's see what we get with this one and see if it's using the same generator or it's just defaulting to a hidden style within the AI Art Illustrator. Yep. Okay, so that is basically, this is a hidden style because when we put it straight in that wall art one, it's not giving us the same thing. But this one, she's cute. Now her eyes are closed, so I would want to try to make sure her eyes are open. And it's not really letting us regenerate for some reason. So we'd have to go back in and we'd have to paste it again. Wall art sketch. Choose the oil painting. Choose to paste that in. And try her again. So we do not, it says minimalist face here. So smiling. And let's just say cowgirl with brown eyes smiling, and see if it'll open her eyes. Y'all know that I have trouble sometimes with some of these generators having open eyes. It's just the way they interpret things. So I have to use all sorts of workarounds to get, yes, now we got her. And she has open eyes and she is adorable. She is cute as she can be. I have found a new favorite. Now, again, you can't apparently do a lot of multiples, but let's try it and let's see. Let's go back in there again. So in this video, this one's like my favorite, and you actually can do multiple designs. So let's do it this way, and we see that it sort of overrides that. But let's see what we get with 4 images, because it lets us go up to how many? 10 images under this at one time. So if you were doing a clip art pack or whatever, then that would be really cool. But I love the the look. And that is under, it's, it's kind of like, it's under Van Gogh, or I mean oil painting. Okay, aren't they cute? Let's see, these little girls would be really cute. There's enough variation between them, different hairstyles and stuff like that, that they would make a really super cute. Now, let's see if we can. It's not going to let us, it says it's going to let us regenerate, but it doesn't. It defaults here for some reason, and there's no way to put it in. So we go back over here, we go here, and let's just see what I can do here. So select style, oil painting. We didn't do Van Gogh, we did oil painting. Illustration, dressed up like a cowgirl with brown eyes and blonde hair. And then the little girl is sitting on a cute wooden bench. And holding a bouquet of spring flowers. Oh, and I didn't change the aspect ratio, so it's going to do a smaller image this time. But these are really cute. How adorable. Very cute. Love the wooden bench. I like the treatment of it. So I really like that one, and that is a surprise. But she's so cute, and she's so cute, and so cute. All right, so little hidden surprise there, and then Ad Creator. This is one of the new features that they've just added. So we can browse, and you would need a product. So I'm going to use this like it's maybe a book, okay? So we're going to do it like this. We're going to do just 3 and just say a book, and we would need to a book, or this book. We'll put this book as a spiral bound, featured in various mock-ups, suitable for marketing a planner. Now, we're going to ignore that says you're invited to our housewarming, okay? We just wanted to put it on there and see what it'll do. Now, people are using this for more than just like mock-ups and stuff, so we'll explore that as well. But we're going to do it as it's intended to start with. Okay, so generate ideas. Now it's generating the prompts. For some reason, I think it's working now. There we go. Okay, now we're ready to generate the images. Not sure why it took me clicking it a couple of times, but It is what it is. Kind of cute. Now, I did actually interpret this about the home is where the plan is. It's got the you're invited thing. So that one, but this one actually is build your cozy life, the blueprint for your best year. That one, this one I like. So, if I had inputted a different book, then that would probably have been better. But anyway, so we're not going to, a lot has been done on this ad creator. You can use it a lot of different ways. It does go in and it gives you, this would be a really cute social media if you had like a planner. I didn't have an image easy to get to for that. I would probably change this color, but it does give you the ideas. And see, what I could actually do is I could download this, pop it in over here. And I know a lot of people say, well, can't you do that inside Artistly? You can. I mean, you can go into the advanced and you can extract the text and everything. I'm just used to using Canva on a lot of this stuff. So for me, it's just easier just to pop it over and, do it real quick. And I can edit it differently, using like the magic eraser. I can just go in here and I can remove this and then, replace it with something you can see because you really can't see that very well. Oops, let me redo it. Let's see. Where is my thing to deselect? Okay. Let's do it like this. I actually went down a little too far before, so let's try to see. You can just kind of erase this, and then I could go back in and add whatever I wanted to up there. So that gives me a little test. Create design. And, you could add basically the same thing. You could go over and just, like, you could even scroll down and find something down here. Remember, if you're selling it, now this is an ad, so I could use any of these because I'm not selling this. This would be an ad for like social media or whatever. So I could always do this and put your best and year. So you can go back in and add your own thing. It still saves you a lot of time, even if you have to do a few little edits or whatever. But this is a really cute image. Another thing that you could do is, if you do have like for instance, and I'm going to just go to elements and look up some like planner and go to, and I'm going to do planner cover. Just see if it gives me something I can use. I was just trying to find a cute planner cover, which I'm not seeing. Okay, now that one's cute. So I could remove the background on this one, and then I get this image. And I could then take it in. I'm doing this just, you wouldn't have to do all this because you would have your own image, but I'm just going to do this to do away with those. And show you how you could overlay. Let's backtrack a minute. I'm going to use a different tool. Whoops. Okay. Okay. Well, let's do it again. All right. So edit. We're going to go in the magic eraser and erase these out. Okay. Erase. Then we're going to remove the background. Okay. Background remover. And then we're going to sort of line it up. And I'm going to go back into the magic eraser again. And I'm going to actually just go down this spiral. This is not the greatest image for this. I just want to show you that if I had, whoops, doggone it, that if I had my own cover for my own product, how I could use that. Like if I wanted to change it out and put a different product in. Let's erase that. Okay. So I could overlay it and put my own book cover in here. This is not the best image for this because it doesn't line up just right. But if you had your own whatever, maybe I should have just done something like this. You can typically lay it in. You can also, if you just wanted to remove this completely, you can go into edit and you could go into the magic grab the whole thing and remove it and then put yours in, however you wanted to do it. So lots of ways to use that. Okay. That's not the one we're in. Okay. I think we've come to the end pretty much. Okay. So design agents, one more thing. Like I said, you can use let's go back this way though and see. Okay, so if we wanted to go in here, we wanted to regenerate. It's not going to let you regenerate your prompt. It's just going to redesign that image that we just had. So it's a good thing I went ahead and built your cozy life. It actually did redo it, but it did it the exact same way. So now, if you like kind of the way that looks and everything, you can take this prompt and you could put it into another one of the generators to see what kind of effect it gives you there. So you could take it back over to, say, this one and see if you get, something that you like better. But along those same lines. So just ways to use your prompts. And again, this would put it, see, now that's cute. And maybe this one is more fitting to what you wanted, and you could replace your pages here. So that's how that works. So this has been a little bit longer because I tried to combine them. Doing the two videos for the 1 and the 1A was a little confusing for people. So I did try to do what you can do, what it's meant to do, what any other ideas or angles that you can amend these. There's not as much flexibility in the tier 2 of the design agents as there was in the AI Image Designer version 6 here, but there are different things that we've discovered along the way with the book cover, and also with the wall art sketch that I feel like are really cool. And I will come back and revisit all of the storybook elements. I'm going to use them in the AI Storybook Studio. I'll make a whole video on that a little bit later. I want to cover the agents and the assistants first. But anyway, be sure and watch video part 1 and part 1A that covered the AI Image Designer V6 and its tier, all of these items. And of course, stay tuned for part 3, which will be on the AI design assistants later on. And be sure and check out all of my playbooks. Be sure, and if you haven't already gotten Artistly and you'd like to, it's 30-day money back guarantee that they have right now. There is a coupon code that is available when you click through to. You can use my link and it'll show you up at the top what that code is. And I do have a Facebook group. You're welcome to join. Let me make a comment about my Facebook group. Okay, I do have quite a few people that are sort of in holding right now. If you're one of those people and you clicked through to join my group, but you did not fill out the questions, and answer those, then I typically leave those in holding unless I kind of know you from having seen you on Paulpana or the AI, the Artistly groups or something like that. So I kind of have because there are a lot of scammers that try to get in. So if you're one of my viewers and you have put in your wanting to join the group and you're just in limbo and you haven't been accepted yet, that may be why. So please go back in and either resend and fill out all the information correctly on those questions. Like I said, it's just a way that I'm trying to protect the integrity of the group and not get scammers in that disrupt everyone's the way they use the group and everything. And a group is a personal space that we feel like I feel like, we have to respect one another. We don't want people coming in that are going to try to just come in and steal people's, when they're trying to get input on their designs and stuff like that. We want you to, be a part of the group. I want to help you in whatever way that I can, but I do need to protect the integrity of the group. So if you happen to fall in that category and I said, please sign up for my, join my group, and then you tried to join and you haven't been accepted, then that's probably the reason. You probably just skipped over those questions, or you may belong to 1,000 other groups or something, and there may be some ways that you've been flagged, and not accepted in yet. So please go in and correct that. I don't want to keep anyone out that genuinely wants to be in the group, but I also don't want, I don't have any way of knowing if you are a viewer. That's not one of the questions I had put in originally. Maybe I should go back and actually add that. But then a lot of people are just skipping over the questions altogether. So anyway, just a moment on that. And but anyway, check all of my links are down in the description. And I actually have a new website. And I'm going to do a video walkthrough on the website soon. So watch for that video. I'll probably do it also. I'll, it may actually already be out because this one is going to be scheduled to go out not today, but tomorrow. And so I may go ahead and do the video walkthrough for my website. And so be sure and check that out. I will have the link to the website. It is linked up to Etsy and Gumroad for the items available on Etsy and Gumroad, but it also is a little better organized if you want to look at any of my clip art and my other products. All of those connect, like I said, to those stores, and the processing and payments will go through those. But this is just a way that I wanted to try to make it where you weren't clicking through a bunch of different links just right from the description, that you could actually just go to my website and it's going to be a little bit better organized. You can see some of the other, there's a link to take you to my Facebook page and the different things. So it's just a little different environment and an option for you if you would like to do that. I have more things I'm going to be adding, like other products that some of my fellow creators are offering that I have affiliates set up with, things that I think are really good. So I'll have a page where you can shop the tools that I use and, the items like that I'm connected with. Um, and I'm also going to be doing a video repository, which is basically where you will be able to go onto a page on my website, and it all of my videos will be organized a little bit better than the playlist. So if you're looking for beginner, all my beginner stuff will be. If you're looking for all of the older artistly videos, they're going to be under, there where you can just scan through those. But that's going to take me a bit of time because I have so many videos and I have to do the thumbnails for each one and link them all up to YouTube, because you're still going to be watching them on YouTube. But it's just going to be an easier place, like a catalog, that'll be organized a little better. So those are some of my plans for the website. So be sure and check it out, and leave me a comment if you have questions or just want to leave me a comment or say hello, whatever. Be sure and do that. Be sure and subscribe to the channel so you're notified every time that I upload something new. And I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you're enjoying this series that I thought would be really, really helpful on helping you get more out of Artistly, the tool that you already have, and the different things you can do with it. And, until next time, happy creating.